And you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Let's pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rotarians, will you prepare yourself in a way that you're most accustomed for prayer? God, our Creator, we come before you today and we just give gratitude and blessings for the ability to gather in a country that is free and a place where we can gather as Rotarians and continue to serve our community above ourselves. We ask for blessings upon our speaker, Ryan, today, who will give us the vision behind Heritage Crossings and the growing role of multifamily development in shaping our downtown and York City's future. We ask for blessings on the food that has been given to us to nourish our bodies, the hands that have prepared it and served it to us, so that we may continue to serve you by the many names that we call you. And we ask this in those names. Amen.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to have the honor of introducing our guest for today's meeting. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing until President Wilda has welcomed you. Malcolm Hoare and Sarah O'Brien are guests of Sterling Dunlap. Jessica Sanders, guest of membership. Sanaya Phillip, Youth Exchange guest. Isa Marin, who is a guest of Youth Exchange. Linda Capwell, guest of Angela Merrick. Roth Prep, guest of Fran Hoover. Joe Growell, guest of Matthew Huffman. John Schreiber, guest of Kevin Schreiber. Brandon Lynch, guest of Andy Lynch.
Yes, we're so glad to have you here with us today. Whether this is your first visit or you're back again, it's always a pleasure to have new faces in the room. If what you see here today resonates with you, we'd love to have you consider becoming part of our Rotary family. Rotarians, please help me welcome our visitors. You may be seated. And now for our announcements this week. Thank you to everyone who dropped off their lithium batteries before today's meeting. If you forgot that that was today and you still have some that you need to get rid of, please hold on to those. Al is working on a future plan for another lithium battery pickup. The Rotary Club's Board of Directors will meet tomorrow, May 14th at 8 o'clock on Zoom. The Membership Engagement Committee will meet on May 18th at 8 o'clock on Teams. Also, it was just announced that there is a memorial service planned for Jeff Hines on 5/24 from 3 to 5 at the Gold Star Garden, which is at 1000 Vander Avenue. At this time, I'd like to invite Bill Hunter, Chair of the Membership Engagement Committee, to the podium.
Thank you, President Wilda. At this time, the Membership Engagement Committee extends congratulations to Lauren Crow, being a member of the Rotary Club for 35 years and joined this week in 1991. Lauren, please stand up. Congratulations. We have a couple events coming up in June and July. In June, we're going to be doing a Rotary Biz networking event at the Appel Center. Please note, this is going to be a lunch event, so it's going to be on Thursday, June 4th from 12 to 1:15. We're going to go to the Appel Center, get a backdoor tour, and then we'll have some networking and refreshments. So if you can sign up for that, we look forward to having you there. Also in July, we are going to do Rotary Means Business again. We did this event last year for the district, so we're going to continue that. It was a big success last year. We had it at Market View Arts. So if you're interested in networking with Rotarians, people that live by the four-way test, please plan on attending that event. That's going to be at CGA, 5 to 7 p.m. Again, it'll be networking, refreshments, big success. So we're looking forward to that. So please sign up for that. Also, for anyone that ordered the Rotary networking gear, the store is now closed, but those items will be delivered probably by the end of this month. So we'll keep you posted on that. All the items will be brought here to the club, so you can just pick them up then. And then the last item, just another quick training video for Club Runner. Just going to run through a 30-second video. If you can download the Club Runner app, this will walk you through how to sign up for our events.
Here's how to register for events in Club Runner. Open the app and go to the All Events calendar. Tap the filter in the top right and turn off My Area and My District, so you're only seeing your club's events. Next, navigate to May and select May 14th. Tap the Rotary Biz Tour and Networking event. Hit register, add one to your selection, and proceed to checkout. Finish the process and you're all set.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you to your committee for all of your hard work and planning all of the things for us. I don't want to put words in Lauren's mouth, but I really do hope that one of his top Rotary moments is sponsoring me to be a Rotarian. So thank you, Lauren, for this is all because of you. At this time, I'd like to call past President Brian Tate, Chair of the Nominating Committee, to report on behalf of the Board of Directors the nominations recommended by the Nominating Committee that are being placed on the ballot for club leadership. We're planning.
Sorry, some last minute conferring. So before I make my report, I would like to thank the members of the nominating committee for their work. It's a very strong committee working on your behalf. So I would like to thank President-elect Doug Berman, Eric Chase, past President Dave McKinley, past President Glenn Miller, Jasmine Simpson, Sarah White, and Phil Woods. So if we could thank them for their hard work, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. As recommended by the nominating committee, the Board of Directors approved placing the following individuals in nomination to serve their first two-year term on the Rotary Club of York Board of Directors for the 2026 to 2028 Rotary years. If you're here, and I think you are, please stand as I call your name. First, we have Alyssa Barshinger. Next, Nick Beck. Excellent. And also Michael Hady. Fantastic. Further, as recommended by the nominating committee, the Board of Directors approved placing the following individual in nomination to serve a second two-year term on the Rotary Club of York Board of Directors for the 2026 to 2028 Rotary years. And I call Eric Chase to please stand.
Are there any additional nominations from the floor? Is there a motion to close the nominations? Thank you. Thank you. So vote to close. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? All right. The vote carries to close the nominations. You may be seated.
And let's thank those folks for standing to be nominated to serve on our board. Thank you. Next, as recommended by the nominating committee, the Board of Directors approved placing the following candidates in nomination as officers for Rotary year 2026 to 2027. Please stand as I call your name. First, as we know, Doug Berman as president. Next, Kelly Gibson as president-elect. BJ Fagley as financial vice president. And for president-elect nominee, Cal Weary.
Are there any additional nominations from the floor? Is there a motion to close the nominations? Thank you, John. Is there a second? Okay, thank you. I was looking down and not looking up. Thank you. So the vote to close the nominations, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the vote carries to close the officer nominations. You may be seated. All right, thank you, Past President Brian, for all your hard work. Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I invite Past President John Kleindinst to the podium to introduce our speaker for today.
It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Ryan McKinley. Ryan serves as president of Statewide Partners, a vertically integrated real estate development company focused on development, construction, property management, and brokerage. With more than 25 years of executive leadership experience, Ryan has been involved in a wide range of projects, many of them here in New York, that have contributed to housing, economic development, and neighborhood investment throughout the region. His work is focused not only on building projects, but on creating places that support long-term community needs and growth. Today, Ryan will share the vision behind Heritage Crossings, a transformative mixed-use development in downtown New York designed to build new residential living, street-level activity, and renewed energy to the city core. His presentation will explore the growing role of multifamily housing in urban rehabilitation and revitalization, including trends in housing demand, rental markets, and the increasing importance of walkable, amenity-rich communities. He'll discuss why York is well positioned for thoughtful multifamily investment and how developments like Heritage Crossings can help attract residents, support local businesses, and strengthen the downtown environment. Ryan will also offer some perspective on how strategic development can contribute to a broader vision for York's future, one that connects housing, economic growth, and community vitality. His remarks will highlight not only the project itself, but the opportunities that thoughtful investment can create for the city overall. Ryan has a BS in accounting from Lebanon Valley College and was issued a real estate license in 2004. And he's a board member of the York City Business Improvement District Authority with me. So Rotarians, please welcome our speaker, Ryan.
Well, thank you. If I was going to go in depth in all of that, we'd be here probably for a couple days. But we're going to try to do some brief highlights in those areas, and then I'm going to open it up for some questions. Thanks, John, for inviting us here today to share this. Normally, when there's this many people in the room as a developer and I'm speaking, I'm getting ready to be yelled at. So hopefully we don't have any of that today. But it's great to see everybody. We are essentially based, it's a private owned company. We are
headquarters in Harrisburg, but with this project, we are bringing our satellite office to York, and we'll have 30 employees there. So they'll be part of the downtown fabric, adding to the businesses that are already there, hopefully contributing in a meaningful way there. One thing that I've always believed in over the years, and there's many faces in this room. If I started naming you, it'd be like the whole room, I think. Know that successful projects take a village. And there's definitely a lot of people in this room that were part of this process or will be part of the process going forward here in many different ways. That philosophy was kind of what led us to the vision at Heritage Crossings. The name, isn't just a simple connection to the Heritage Rail Trail that wraps the project or the train crossings that happen to go through the city or in that area. York sits at an important crossing point in central Pennsylvania with where 30 and 83 connect, the downtown York serving as a central focal point. And my belief over the years and as a city resident, I always believed that we were meant to be that focal point, meant to be that, hub, so to speak, of the central region of Pennsylvania. And I think finally, 20 some years later, I really see that progress moving with the support of a lot of people in this room, but also these new businesses that are coming into town. And so I think that's important. Today, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of our reason behind Heritage Crossings and how this project looks to help continue that momentum and that investment that's already happening downtown. So let's jump into the presentation here. Heritage Crossings is helping to create a new neighborhood experience in the city. The project reflects something larger that is already happening, as I just discussed. It's the renewed investment, the growing residential demand, the shift towards walkable urban living. We are excited to be part of that process. For us, this is not only a real estate project, it's an opportunity to help strengthen the street, support the downtown, and it's a place that, we've come to say, live, work, and play or gather. It's been a catchphrase for urban areas in years, but it really applies here, especially with the location of the rail trail. You can finally, we've had different visions of this. It's starting to come to life. It might look like a little hodgepodge right now. It's just because we're putting things up as the material is coming to the site, because we are pushing forward to be on track here and in schedule. So we're working on a bunch of different things here. But when we first looked at this site, we didn't want to just build a building of apartments. We asked the question, what kind of place would make people want to stay downtown, spend time downtown, and build a community downtown? That led us to the concept that was the live, work, play. Heritage Crossings is designed to bring residents downtown, support local businesses, activate the street, create spaces people actually want to use. And the project includes modern apartments, retail, commercial spaces. And our goal for this whole project, and this is only the first phase, was to not create a project that felt isolated from the rest of the city. We wanted to be part of the city. And I was speaking to John earlier, he was talking about the baseball stadium and how, now we kind of connect and bend you back around to Beaver Street and up to the market and to the central business district. And that was the point. That was why, and I'll talk about a little bit later, we wanted to have the facing commercial along the street to kind of gather those people that are walking along and just keeping that path going. So why does this matter now? One of the biggest misconceptions about downtown development is that developers are trying to create demand that does not exist. In York, the demand is already here. It's been here. York has a renter majority population, low vacancy rates, and growing interest in walkable living environments. We are also seeing a changing housing preference from young professionals, empty nesters, healthcare workers, remote workers, and people just downsizing from their larger homes. Quick side note, we had a couple come in. They are retired. They sold everything and they travel around the world. But what they do is every 2 years they go to a new community and stay. So, you know, if you don't think I'm telling the truth, I'm telling you, we're hearing about it as we interview the people in looking to stay here. So what we're seeing is not a lack of demand, it's a supply issue. I'll say that again. It's not a lack of demand, it's a supply issue. Supply of quality housing, with vacancy rates remaining low, that tells us that the market is very undersupplied. Housing and rents. Depending on what area of Pennsylvania that I'm standing in, they would laugh at me if they thought they could get something this cheap. It's amazing how rents have grown over the years, and it's created other problems, but in this scenario, I think it's created opportunities. This slide helps show that multifamily housing is already supported in the York market. There's a healthy spread in rental pricing between 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and larger units. This matters because downtown housing should not be one-dimensional. A successful downtown neighborhood includes singles, couples, young professionals, retirees, and families, and all different types of housing. The broader point is that multifamily housing is not out of place in York anymore. It's becoming an increasingly important part of the city's future and growth strategy. And many times when I speak on this and people talk about affordable housing, is they don't realize that this helps create affordable housing, because some of our housing that could be affordable housing right now is just regular housing that's, you know, taking up the space. And this helps people move. It helps everything spread out. So that healthy rent spread by unit type is positive. Regionally, the county housing studies, and call Kevin up here, you probably tell me all about them. What many people already feel on the ground, York needs more housing options, but it does not need only more housing, it needs more desirable housing in a walkable area. That is the trend. That is what people are looking for. It's a back to cities, basically. One important point is that a large percentage of the workforce is nearing retirement age. To retain younger workers and attract new talent, communities need environments where people actually want to live. Walkable districts matter. Access to restaurants, entertainment, trails and parks, coffee shops, culturally increasing influences people choose to live. Sounds like us. Rail trail, restaurant. I mean, we already have many of those ingredients already in downtown York. So Heritage Crossings was here to help support that ecosystem and help create that merge. So as we talk about apartments and things like that, I don't want to, skip over the other part of this process, which is the shops at Heritage Crossings, our retail area. One thing we focused on heavily was making sure the building contributes to street life. The first floor was and is intentionally active, front facing towards Beaver Street. We are planning many uses. I cannot say today, but I'm hoping in the next 2 months, I'll be able to say that the first floor is fully leased, which I know would shock a lot of people. We have different tenants that we're working the final phases with currently and signing the leases with, and we're very excited about this. We will be having some open houses and some ribbon cuttings for all of those folks. That I hope will create extra energy on the street and the walkability of it. But more people downtown means more foot traffic, and it also means that foot traffic to existing businesses. So this hopefully will help the other businesses that are downtown. There's some new stores, retail that have come out. Being part of Downtown Inc. and the bid process, we're welcoming and ribbon cutting. I feel like every week I have 2 ribbon cuttings to go to for new business. I think it's great. Keep it coming. But that activity benefits the broader downtown and the economy. And what we really wanted to do here was expand on that. Street action plan, more what I'm talking about here. This floor illustrates how the first floor layouts support public interaction. I've used this presentation before and we didn't have anybody. Now that we kind of have everybody, it's working. So our action plan is definitely working here. Apartments. Some of you were part of the ambassadors and joined me yesterday. I promise there's no steps in this presentation. They walked all the floors because there's no elevators working right now. But we do have 2 models that are open. Those are actually images of the models. Those aren't fake screenshots. That's how they're staged. And we will be staging more, and we'll have more open houses for everybody to take a tour later this summer. So you'll be able to take your own tour. But the residential units were laid and designed practically for modern living, in keeping in mind all but 5 of the 139 units have balconies. The views are great, I think, from every floor. There's natural light, there's efficient floor plans, really creates a home feel functional and comfortable. Downtown living today is different than it was 20 years ago. Residents expect quality finishes, modern amenities, walkability, and convenience. At Heritage Crossings, we have many unique amenities to an apartment facility like this. We have a dog wash station. It's not a sink and a hose. It's an actual dog wash station where you change the dials and it switches between soap and all this good stuff. It's the specialized washing system for the dogs. There's real dryers in there for the dogs. It's its own room. It's high end. We have an indoor bike storage facility. I think it can house 100 bikes. So we're hoping that our tenants take advantage of the rail trail being there. We have a fitness center. We have a tenant-only convenience store. It's a 24-hour convenience store only for the tenants. And we use this model in Carlisle, one of our other buildings. It's crazy. That one's 80 square feet and it does like $4,000 a month. So this one's a lot larger. It's a little bit larger of a building, but the tenants love it. They can come home and, I forgot a soda, or you name it, paper towels, toilet paper, all the laundry detergent, all the things that you don't want to have to get in your car and run back out for. We are looking out for the tenant in many ways. We will have on-staff maintenance through normal business hours. We have 24-hour maintenance. So basically, we have everything short of having a door person and valet at this place. But I will mention parking. We have parking. I know there's rumors, but we have parking. We were not going to build ourselves into a parking problem. We will need to have some kind of a parking conversation when we go into other phases, but this phase has no parking problems. We wanted their homes to feel comfortable. We wanted to fit into the comfort and character of York. And I hope that as this building comes together, you feel that we accomplished that goal. So, community impact. You guys are here. You obviously have a lot of community impact. The Rotary put out the trees and down the street, and I just think that all the things that you do from a Rotary standpoint in the community is super beneficial. And we were trying to do the same thing. At the end of the day, projects like this are more about the broader community impact. Like I said, this is not an isolated project. We believe Heritage Crossing contributes to York by expanding the housing options. It increases the downtown foot traffic. It supports the local businesses. It strengthens the public realm, and it encourages private investment, which is important because we've had a lot of, and it's great. We've had a lot of government investment, but we also need that private investment downtown. And this project builds on that momentum, and that already kind of existed as far as some of the community activity, but we see this reinvestment, these new small businesses, this cultural growth, and the renewed civic energy. We're just proud to be alongside that momentum. We don't take for granted that, some of this happened because of all the work that you've been doing here for years. Maybe went too far. Oh, there you go. In closing, our website is heritagecrossingsyork.com. We will be announcing some of our ribbon cuttings and our open houses through the summer when we have more of the amenities up and running. So feel free. I don't care if you're just nosy, you want to see what's going on, just come downtown. You're all welcome. Heritage Crossings is not just about this one building. It is about the confidence in York. We believe that this confidence that people want to live downtown, we're confident that businesses want to invest in downtown, and we're confident that York's future can continue to evolve in a positive direction. We are grateful to be a part of that story, and we're excited that what's going to come next. Really want to thank you for having me. I know we have some time for some questions. I wanted to leave that opportunity because, like I said, I talk all day here. So thank you all very much, and I will take questions.
So this is a twofer. One, could you give us the rental range of the units that you've created? That's part one. And separate of that, I am a York City resident. My children go to York Academy across the school. We've enjoyed watching this being built. I love the project. I love everything about it. I hope to see you do more of this. But could you quell the parking rumors? Can you expand on what the parking solution is?
Sure. Yes, thank you. And York Academy, I saw Mike was here earlier. They've been a great neighbor, and we've tried to do the same with them. In fact, we've done their capstone program, and we are actually hiring one of their students on our construction team. So our partnership already started to work downtown, which was great. Yeah, there's no doubt about it that the delivery and pickup, there's that congestion that's downtown. Most cities have these types of congestions. This is not, it's not something we worry about. There's parking located behind the building, next to the building, over in the next phase. And then we just settled on the lot behind Colorworks where we'd be putting in another 66 spaces. So we have available parking all around. You just don't see it all yet because it's not built yet. But it's planned to be built before we open. And I think that'll help ease everybody, even including tenants that are coming in. We're showing them, they're getting to see where the parking's at. But between those lots, I think we're over a 1.4 parking ratio. And typically in a urban setting, and again, I go to these cities and borough meetings, 1.2 is the train overlay requirement. We have a 1.2 in North York at a building that we own up there. And I would tell you that really at no time do we ever fill up those lots. We're not going vertical at this point. Now, phase two, we might go vertical. So there's phase two is its own set of, I'm going to say issues, but things that we have to work through.
Oh, the other part of Aaron's question was the range of rental rates in the
Yeah.
units you have.
Yeah, that's a common. We are starting at 1,300 for our studios, and all the way up to our penthouses are up to $3,000. The average rent that we're seeing is probably $1,650.
Thanks for your presentation. I got to have a conversation with you about where you do other developments outside of this region and the difference between developing here in downtown York and other places. And you said in a lot of ways it's easier. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between developing in York City and your ones outside?
Sure. We were very fortunate to work in a lot of QOZ zones like this. And in QOZ zones, they're either blighted or they're areas that the communities are looking for development. And it's a lot easier to work with a community that wants you to be there than standing in a room where everybody doesn't want it next door. But more than that, I think the city, and I can say this because I've lived here for so long and I've been part of the permitting process over the years, they've gone digital. The city's process is probably one of the best that I've been a part of now, that they've changed all this, where you're submitting all your plans digitally. There's a record of everything. You can see the process online of who's getting the next step, and it's working its way down. You don't I'm doing one in Carlisle Borough, and they're great to us. I don't know if you know them, don't tell them I was slamming them, because they've been great to work with too, but their process is more cumbersome, and they still make you print out plans, and it doesn't sound like, oh, you got to print out some plans. I mean, every time I print out a whole set of plans, it's $1,000. So if I go through 4 reviews, it's $4,000. So there's real financial savings in the process being digitally now. And I think that's important to understand. And I think the other part here is a lot of these other communities are still outsourcing their review and inspection processes. And it sounds great on paper, but you can't build that relationship. You're just another, project. Whereas here, they care that this project gets done right and that you're getting done on time and they're not holding you up. So I think the process here, when we say York City's been great to work with, it really has. And there's some community people in here that have helped support us too. So that never hurts. So.
Ryan, so clearly there's this move back to the city. People are wanting to move back into the city, live in the city. For us, are there things that we need here in the city that we don't currently have to make this truly successful? And if that's so, what is it?
So walkability is the theme. There are communities outside of a city that are walkable, these planned urban developments, as many people have heard over the years, that have been trying to go in the suburbs to compete with the city. They can compete to a point. It's really hard to compete with the city growth and the volume that you have here. I mean, in those planned urban developments, there's usually a couple restaurants, maybe 2. There's not a lot. It would be like if we just built Heritage Crossings out in the suburbs somewhere. As far as what we can do, I think a lot of it is being done. I think we just need to continue doing what we are doing, which is making the city presentable, the beautification projects that are going on to make people come downtown and feel welcomed, to make as much progress promoting other businesses to come here, and to support that walkability. When you walk down the street, all the storefronts are filled. You'll feel more safe. You'll feel more, hey, I want to do that. If you look down the street and you can see all the businesses. I personally think we've made a lot of strides on all those sections. I would love to see more companies move downtown and bring more employees downtown. I think that's one of the areas that would help the growth of the city. It would also help support all these small businesses. It's the traffic. And a lot of you are in the county and the community, and the more you keep telling people, hey, you should go downtown to this event or go to this restaurant. I mean, that's always the number one thing you could do. Word of mouth is like the best thing you could do to help grow it. But if I had to pick one thing, it would be try to find more businesses that would love to be downtown.
Do any of your future phases for York move into the condominium phase, condominium models, or no?
And that's a great question. We get asked that a lot. The way we develop, we focus mostly on 1s and 2s. And the reason is we would love to see the houses that are split up converted back into houses again. And we believe that the investment for the condos and the bigger facilities should be invested back into the structures and the row homes that are already in place. That is our belief in this area. In suburban areas, they build some of the bigger stuff, but it has not been something that we've looked at doing currently. I'm not going to say that won't change in the future, but I would try to employ everybody else to kind of push, hey, let's take these row homes that were converted into 2 units and put it back to a single family again. And yeah, you have a nice, really nice condo. So that would be my hope.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm unclear. What is the ownership structure of Heritage Crossings organization, an LLC, a C Corp, and where's the money coming from?
Oh, we're a privately owned family company. I always say it's great we have one customer, but sometimes it's not because I only have one customer. If I upset the family, then no, it's second generation family. It's the Jaffe family. They currently we do not take any money outside. It's all of our projects are funded through the family. We build approximately slow and steady 250, 300 units a year. And then we sell a few off here and there. We do some entitlement work and development work that we sell off to other developers. We sell to national builders. We, sell to Ryan Homes and NVR, and a lot of our, land holdings and things like that are sold off. We don't build those. The only thing that the only thing that we build are multifamily. Easy on me today. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, Ryan, for not only sharing the vision behind Heritage Crossings, but also the bigger picture of what intentional investment can mean for the future of York. As many of us know, York is in an exciting period of momentum and transformation. So conversations like this remind us that revitalization is not just about economic growth. It's about creating a community where people feel pride, opportunity, and a sense of belonging. So as you know, our speaker signs a book plate, and this week's book is to be donated to the YMCA of the Roses York Early Learning Child Care Center. It's okay to make mistakes. It's always a favorite, along with a bookmark made by students at Creative York. Next week, we will hear from Jay Young, who established the Dillsburg Arts and Revitalization Council in 1998. Since then, they have expanded and purchased the historic Monaghan Church in Dillsburg, founded in 1745. This is the oldest Presbyterian church west of the Susquehanna River. Its minister, George Duffield, was called by George Washington to come to Philadelphia and become the chaplain of the Congress during the Revolutionary War. This presentation will share this story and other details about Dillsburg's history and its role in the founding of York County and our nation. With that, this meeting is adjourned. Have a wonderful afternoon.